Hi, hello. Now welcome to my Calculus for Beginners. Now in the last videos, we provided solutions for basic exercises regarding derivatives of algebraic functions. Namely, we solved the derivatives of 3x squared, which as you can see is 6x, and then we move on until we reach the last exercise. It's all about 6x squared plus 1 half x minus 3. And as a sort of review, we try to do it mentally this time. Now, the power rule will state that we have to bring down the power, which is 2. So that's 6 times 2, which gives us 12. Now, how about for the other expression, 1 half x? So, we have to bring down the power of x, which is 1, and then subtract 1 to the power, so it effectively becomes 1 half times 1, and the x here is raised to something like 1 minus 1, so that's x raised to 0, so it is just 1. So we have the final form, which is 12x plus 1 half. Now let's try to have more challenging examples like intermediate derivatives. Okay, so we step up the level and do exercise number 9. Okay, for number 9, f prime of x equals, that's 2x plus 1 raised to 2. So our derivative here, so let's try to use the power rule. We bring down the power, which is 2, and then we multiply it to the variable here, 2x plus 1, and then subtract 1 to the power, 2 minus 1. And therefore we have 2 multiplied by 2x plus 1. Hey, that's not the answer of ChatGPT. There seems to be a factor here, which is 2. Where did he get it? So let's try to analyze it further. This is some kind of a composite function. So what's a composite function? So let's try to analyze number 9. And as I have said here, from number 9, okay, he uses a chain rule, which is rule number 8. So let's try to explore number 8. So for number 8, so let's try to write it. Okay, so number 8, so for rule number 8, we have a composite function. F of g of x. That's equivalent to f prime of g of x. But don't forget, you have to multiply it also by the derivative of g, which is g of x. So as you can see, this term is the one that we are lacking. So we can somehow express the number 9 as the function. We can express the function such that f of x is some f of x as x squared, and the g of x as 2x plus 1. So here, all we need to do is to plug in 2x plus 1 inside x square. So as this expression, quantity square, that stands for x square here, but what we place here inside is the g of x, and the g of x is simply 2x plus 1. So we write 2x plus 1. So we recover the expression here, which is 2x, quantity 2x plus 1 square. So according to the formula, we only have to multiply it by the derivative of g, which is g of, our g of x is 2x plus 1. All we need to do is to take the derivative of that. So we multiply it to g prime of x. Okay, so from 10 we proceed now to number 10. Let me copy it first. Our f prime of x is equivalent to x squared plus 3x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 4. Now, for us to take the derivative of this, we need to consult what formula? We need to consult the formula for the product. Since this is a product, it's a product of quantity x squared plus 3x plus 2 and quantity x minus 4. So according to our product formula, okay, according to our cheat sheet here, so for the product, so according to the formula, if we have a derivative of a product f, and so let me try to abbreviate it as f multiplied by g. All we need to do now is to take the derivative of f multiplied to g, add it to f multiplied by the derivative of g, which is g prime. So essentially that's it, and then we try to follow that. Okay. So first we take the product. So first we take the derivative of, we identify this as f and this is g. So the first one is we have to take the derivative of f. The derivative of f by power rule is, bring down the 2, then x raised to 2 minus 1, which is 1 here. So it's just 2x plus 3, bring down the power of x, which is 1. So 3 multiplied by 1. So the variable x, you have to raise it to 1 minus 1. So you subtract 1. So effectively that's x raised to 0. That's 1. So we don't need to multiply anything here. It's understood that there's a 1 there. Multiplied to 3. So that's just 2x plus 3 multiplied by, we copy the g. So the function g is just x minus 4. And then we add it plus to the function f, and then we need to copy the function f here, which is x squared plus 3x plus 2, and then we need to multiply it to the derivative of g. G is simply x minus 4, so that its derivative is, we bring down the power of x, which is 1, and then multiply it to x raised to 1 minus 1. X raised to 1 minus 1 is x raised to 0. Effectively x raised to 0 is 1. So it's simply 1 here, because it's understood that it's also multiplied to 1. So that's it. That's our solution. Here we have utilized the product rule. So in the next example, number 11, we will try to utilize the quotient. So why are we using the quotient rule here? Because it's a quotient. We see in the numerator there is an x cubed plus 1, and there is a x squared plus 1 in the denominator. So according to our cheat sheet, we try to find the formula for division. So that's the quotient rule, number 7. So number 7 is, if we want to find the derivative of f over g, so essentially that's prime, to indicate that it's a derivative. All you need to do is, you have to square the denominator, then g multiplied by the derivative of f minus f multiplied by the derivative of g, which is g prime. So we identify that our numerator is f and our denominator is g. So all we need to do is to follow the prescription given to us by ChatGPT, that the quotient rule states that we have to first square the bottom. So that's why we see the denominator being squared, and we try to write that first. So it's simply x squared plus 1, and we square that. Then we try to copy the denominator, x squared plus 1, and then multiply it to the derivative of f. So it's just a simple power rule. So we bring down the power 3 and then subtract 1 to the power of x. So 3 minus 1 is 2. That's it. We subtract it to, we copy f. The f is x cubed plus 1. And then don't forget to multiply it to the derivative of g. And the derivative of g by simple power relation is just 2x. I hope you can see it now. So we bring down the 2 and then we subtract 1 to the power. So that's x raised to 2 minus 1, or effectively simply x. And that's our answer. So I hope there's no question there. If you have a series of questions, you can make a comment in the section when I post this video. And then let's try to proceed now with number 12. Okay, sir, for exercise 11. Now let's try number 12. Now 12 is simply again a power rule. So it's just a simple power rule. So we bring down the power, which is 1/3, and then subtract 1 to 1/3. So that's 1/3 minus 1 gives you negative 2/3. And then here we bring down the power, which is negative 2, and then we subtract 1 to negative 2, so it effectively becomes negative 3. So there's no problem there. How about for number 13? So for number 13, we recognize that the denominator here could be, so it could be converted to x raised to negative 2. So for number 13, I think we have to write it so that everything is clear. For number 12, there's no problem. So f of x equals 5 over x squared plus 7x raised to 1/2. Now effectively you can recognize that we can write it as f5. So effectively you can so effectively you can recognize that we can write it as 5x raised to negative 2, so that it is more accessible for us now to use the power rule. Now according to the power rule, we have to bring down the power. So that's negative 2 times 5 gives you negative 10x, and then subtract 1 to the power, so it becomes minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. Then you bring down the power of x raised to 1/2, so that's 7 over 2. So effectively that's 7 multiplied by 1/2. And then how about for the x? That's 1/2 minus 1. So 1/2 minus 1 is just simply negative 1/2. And that's also the answer provided by ChatGPT. So for number 14, so it's also a composite function. So for now, maybe you know the pattern, so let us try to do it mentally this time. So this one is 3x squared minus x the fourth. Again, we proceed with the ordinary power rule. So we bring down the 4 Then we copy the variable 3x squared minus x raised to, so that's 4 minus 1, so it gives you 3 multiplied by, don't forget, we need to multiply it to the derivative of the function inside, or the expression inside, since this is a composite function. And the derivative of 3x squared minus x is simply we bring down the power of x squared, so that becomes 6x, so that's 3 multiplied by 2, 3x, so effectively the power is 2 minus 1, so we don't write 1 anymore, so minus the derivative of x is simply 1, and that's it. So you are now a master of the derivatives of algebraic functions, because you can calculate it fast, so fast and efficient. Now let's have advanced chain or product quotient rule in the next videos, but for now that's all, and thank you.